how to measure a penis.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Taking notes.
I'm assuming you grabbed the tip.
Yeah.
So we were right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, gently but very firmly stretch the penis as far as it will go.
Okay.
What?
Is that not how it goes?
You guys are gonna get canceled real fast. Do not say that.
Give it a good little pop on the side.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Get your fingers
There we
in.
go.
Okay.
I'm struggling.
This is the first time this has actually been handed to me. Usually I'm just handed an ice cube. Do you care? No, it's fine. I'm gonna
Nobody
die.
said anything about the throw. I thought the
gonna
throw
die
was really
anyway.
fun.
I was proud. Another thing I forgot. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I threw it. Yeah, it happened.
All right.
Oh.
You're going to put it in the mic or you want me to tell you?
That's tradition.
Tradition.
Tradition. Put it in the mic. All right. Someone else count because I did it wrong.
1, 2, 3. That was early.
Felt good. That felt good over here.
That's the most challenging part of our podcast is getting the ice drop.
Getting the ice drop right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're back to TX this week, I noticed.
Yeah. Back to TX. You know, gotta stick with the TX. We've liked that the most.
There's safety and comfort.
Yeah.
I've told you guys before, but TX is my favorite budget-friendly whiskey.
It is budget friendly for me. It's free
Yeah.
because it comes from you. But TX.
I'm definitely going to try to get them to sponsor us.
I was so late on the. And if you may notice at home, I got busy after work and forgot my glass. So the punishment is the pink Hertz donut cup.
It perfectly matches your chair, so this is kind of a theme for you.
It is a great theme.
I have no idea how much I just poured in there either. Could have been a ton. Could have been a little.
Just like go here and you'll
Yeah,
be good.
right about there.
Right there.
I will see you guys on Friday.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to That GD Podcast. I'm joined, as always, with the ever beautiful Kyle and the most gorgeous, magnificent beard, Andy.
I was wondering, I was like, you called him beautiful. What are you possibly going to say to me? But I'm
I
good
thought
with
you were.
yeah.
I thought you
Gorgeous.
undercut the shit out of me just then. Like
I
beautiful
can't-
and the most beautiful. Okay,
I said
Where is he
gorgeous for him.
I got it.
I can't tell them, like, you know, all the stuff.
And you complimented my beard, and after all the beard talk last night, I feel good about that.
You know, Darth Yoda has a magnificent beard.
Dude, he does. And
I was jealous.
he puts work into it though. He puts product in, and I don't do that, so I can't complain. Like he's told me what he does. He straightens his beard. Like he has a special straightening iron for it. Yeah,
I tried today.
it looks good. So my wife got me to get a straightener at one point, and she straightened it for me. And immediately when she was done, she was like, "Yeah, don't do this again." Like apparently my beard doesn't do straight well. So
I
Wiry.
shave 5 days a week.
Speaking of doing straight well, Andy, today I was scrolling through Facebook and there came across this reel for a small coffee shop in Bixby. And I'm like, I recognize that truck, first of all. And
truck
then I
sticks out.
recognized the real ferry walk and dance into this coffee shop. And it said, join me as Andy stops for his midday coffee and lunch.
coffee, and I think it said like emotional support and coffee or something like that.
Emotional support,
Dude,
coffee, and lunch.
That's my coffee shop. That's Roast House in Glenpool. Oh man, I should have had that more close together. Roast House in Glenpool. They're the nicest people. They asked me if I wanted to do a video for them, and then they showed me a TikTok and said, "Can you walk like this?" And without getting me in trouble, like the walk was that of a very flamboyant man, and I was worried because I was like, I think I can try, but this is either going to be horribly embarrassing or maybe I can pull it off. And I think I kind of pulled off a flamboyant walk.
I'm fairly certain gay people would say that's super gay.
Oh yeah, I nailed it. So yeah, they posted that today, and I was gonna send it to everybody I knew, and then I saw it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna show that to anybody. But dude, Roast House is the coffee shop where I won I won their like grand opening prize. Won an iPad. Good coffee. They do infrared coffee roasting, which I don't know what that means, but it tastes good. And they have the cutest barista. Like day one, I went in there and I realized I have a crush, and I'm going to come back here every day.
So it's a girl.
No,
Because you said barista.
is there a male way to say barista?
Is there a male way to say
Nope, it's barista.
Barista.
barista? Sure it's not baristo.
Dude, everybody in there is awesome. They got a guy in there that looks like a young Henry Cavill. You familiar?
That is my male crush.
Dude, my wife immediately, like the first time I went in there, we left, and she was like, "You have a crush on that guy, don't you? Like a guy crush?" And I was like, "No." And then it was like, "Yeah, I mean, I think me and him would have fun together." It's very much like, have y'all ever gotten a guy crush on a celebrity? Like Chris Pratt, but not Chris Pratt of today. Chris Pratt of Parks and Rec. Chris Pratt.
Parks and Rec Chris Pratt.
So
Okay.
a little chubby,
Little
snobby.
chubby. Yeah.
I remember firmly thinking, I was like, man, if I could hang out with that guy, we would get along great.
Yeah, you got a lot of wrist action up high.
Oh, you watching the video?
I did. I decided. I even gave
Yeah.
the cameras a warning that I was going to log out for
Sorry,
a second
yeah.
there, and no, I was expecting more wings. I don't know, angels in the outfield like type.
I went
like,
high wrist.
You were up here.
They showed me the video and I watched it twice, and then I did that on one take. Like I did it, and I thought they'd tell me to do it again, and then they were like, no, moving to
No
step
notes.
two. Yeah,
Perfection.
Where then that made me worried. Like had they told me I screwed it up and I could have tried it a few times, that would have been. But yeah, so if you want to see that, look for Roast House in Glenpool on Instagram, and I think it's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found
Anyhow.
it through Facebook as well.
Yeah, Facebook probably too. But yeah, so I'm glad you saw that. I don't know how that came up in your feed, but I was gonna find it and send it to everybody, like, and be like, "Look, I'm on somebody's," and then I saw it, and I was like, "No, it's probably cool if nobody ever
I
sees
am
that."
sharing that to all of my friends.
We should put that
fantasy,
on our Facebook
fantasy
page.
chat coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
gay Andy.
It was, yeah.
Fantasy
I'm,
chat incoming.
I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality to where I didn't have an issue with that, but also to say that I think Marty's a cool dude.
Did you?
Marty.
Yeah.
Marty's the barista who looks like Henry Cavill.
So
Barista.
you ever see the new Superman movie, the one with Kevin Costner and Henry Cavill?
No.
Yeah, at the beginning of that, it's a young Henry Cavill with like a beard, spitting image.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
if he put on like a flannel, he'd be a
Dude.
stud
I
muffin.
think he looks like the
lumberjack.
kind of guy that would wear a flannel. Like that seems flannel and jeans kind of guy.
Okay.
So
That also
but
fits with the barista.
for what I was saying about Chris Pratt, have you guys ever had like a celebrity guy crush where it's just like, man, I'll bet me and him would get along. Like we'd be buddies if we met.
Henry Cavill.
Henry, okay.
Because he's a super nerd. Like, dude loves Warhammer 40K. He was all about The Witcher.
Now that I think about it, you've talked about Henry Cavill
Yes,
before.
I-
This is all coming back to me. Okay.
No, I have a huge man crush on Henry Cavill because dude's nerdy. And then there's Joe, I forgot his last name. He is also kind of a beefcake, but he plays Magic the Gathering like I do. So I feel like if I hung out with Henry, I could get him to explain to me this Warhammer 40K, and then maybe we could, make babies or something. But
I'm not going that far with my guy crushes. I just want to hang out.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Hold on, Joe. What's
Stops-
Joe in so we can
Stops
figure
at
out who
hand
this is.
jobs.
I only know him from How I Met Your Mother. He was one of
You have a crush on Neil Patrick Harris? Is that who we're talking about?
This could work.
that guy's name.
I
is
think
Neil.
he'd be down.
This could
He
work.
would be. Dead.
Yeah.
And
How do you know he'd find you attractive?
I don't think he would.
Well, you said he'd be down.
Well, he's gay.
Understood. But I feel like you were being very presumptuous about his attraction
Just
to you.
assume that Neil Patrick would be into you.
Is it
You know,
because
he's
you
got like
straightened
top
your
level.
beard?
Yeah, he's got top level options.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll look it up. And,
Yeah.
Kyle, you tell us who your man crush
Yeah.
is.
Are you guys familiar with Welcome to Wrexham at all?
So is it Rob McElhenney?
And Ryan Reynolds?
Both of them at the same time?
It's just beefcake on beefcake.
Yeah, I can see that.
I get it. In fact, there's something about the entire cast of It's Always Sunny. Like, I want to hang out with those dudes.
Joe Manganiello.
I know that dude. Yeah, I know that
Joe
guy's name.
Manganiello.
Okay. Yeah. Not
he's striking.
super familiar.
Yeah. Dude, I'd say back up Ryan Reynolds. I feel like
Yeah.
every guy would
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, Ryan Reynolds. He's
It's-
like Brad Pitt's the other one. Like Ryan Reynolds and Brad Pitt. I think every guy would. I'd hang out with him.
I wouldn't know Brad Pitt if he walked by right now.
Really?
Really.
I
Okay.
don't know what Brad Pitt looks like.
I don't think I've seen him in a decade at least.
Did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No.
Are you a Tarantino fan at all?
Yeah.
He was in the train movie with assassins too.
Oh, Bullet Train
Bullet
on
Train.
That's a Netflix movie. That was actually it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like it was
I like fun
good for
movies.
one time through.
But I haven't seen Brad Pitt. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what he looks like right this second.
Probably like Brad Pitt.
So basically, you want to go out on the town in Wrexham with Rob from Sunny in Philadelphia.
Dude, are you kidding me? That would be the most fun thing ever.
That would.
That
Okay,
would
that's
be
a good one. Yeah.
legendary status in a small town. Just those guys have fun.
That's-
And
it's interesting. Yours is you would want to go out and party in England with those two.
Yeah.
You want to sit at home on the couch and play The Witcher with
Sit at
Henry
Sit at
Cavill.
a table and play cards or
Okay,
figurines.
gotcha. Figurines. That's so mainly.
That's
Yeah.
what Warhammer 40K
Okay.
is. Like,
Yeah.
they're figurines of like dwarves and elves with giant axes and like robots and mechs and all that kind of stuff. Like there's all kinds of things.
I got that. Well,
Which situation is most likely to end in a hand job, though?
yes. Again, I'm not going there, but you guys have fun with that.
He was making babies. I calmed it down.
That you were going there, but based on your walk, you've been there.
That. What's sad is how good I did that walk.
That's
Yeah.
the roast house. He is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad you saw that, and
Yeah.
I'm just now realizing that almost 25 people might see this, and then also find that video.
At least 10 more people will see it tomorrow.
Oh, joy. Okay. Yeah, send that around at the office for me.
No, it's going to be in the fantasy chat by the time I.
Oh, joy. I didn't even think about that. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Brilliant.
Yeah,
how can I get that taken off of Instagram? I'll have to contact
can't.
yeah. So,
it's not you. You don't own rights to it anymore. You agreed to it.
What was
Yeah.
the kickback for that? You're just like, okay,
I got a free cup of coffee.
That's it.
Yeah. So,
You're looking down on our hand jobs,
dude.
You did that for a free cup of coffee.
You did that for a free cup of coffee.
So what's funny is like a week ago they asked me, they were like, "Hey, would you ever want to do a video with us?" And I was like, "Yes." Like secretly, I've been waiting for you to ask me this. Like this is my moment. And then I got there yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, can you walk like this?" And they showed me, and I was like, "Shit, I don't want to do this. Like I don't want to do it anymore." And then apparently I nailed it. So
Did you have weird looks from the customers that were in there?
yeah, people in the parking lot were watching me walk like that, and yeah. And what's sad is I opened the door in like the most flamboyant way possible, and they cut that out. I think because they were trying to protect me. They were like, that was too
That
good.
was too gay.
Yeah.
Did you like throw your head back? And
I head and hand. I did like a full kickback. Yeah. It
Oh, was there a ding at the door at the same time? Because I can just imagine it now. The
yeah.
ding.
There were
and-
customers
open?
inside. Yeah.
that would be a perfect timing
Yeah.
with the hand up.
I'll say that's a bummer when a new company starts, and at first nobody knows about them. So like you can walk right in and get up to the counter. They're not doing good financially because they don't have customers. But then as they start doing good, like you want to be happy for them, but also it's like,
Well, have you seen the barista?
yeah,
Are you talking about them? They're not doing financially.
no, they're
good?
doing good.
Well, when they
yeah.
started, like
That's
when
the
they
thing.
started,
They're
no one-
doing so well that they're crowded all the time. And I used to be able to walk right up and get a cup of coffee, and now there's like two people ahead of me. It's still fast, but part of me wishes nobody knew about him yet. So, but Marty brings the ladies in. I'm telling you.
I feel like everyone looked at you weird after you kept doing the walk when they quit recording you.
Yeah,
You were just, like,
Then
walking-
we went to the counter and filmed the little scene where I took the coffee.
You were
So, yeah.
walking back to your car and still doing it, and they're like, "Okay."
I walked
well,
around my house the rest of the day like that.
Essentially, what they did was like, oh, that dude's doing the TikTok walk. We should just record.
Can we
him.
clip
Yeah.
it and just put that in the corner? Do we? Can we? Is that something legally we can do?
Probably.
Make people go find it on their own.
No, I don't think we need to. They're here. They're right here, right
It's
now.
going to be
right here, yeah. Just loop the walk.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be impressed at my.
I'm gonna force him to put it somewhere that I'm not pointing,
Yes.
and he's still gonna figure it out.
I'll just cut everywhere else you're pointing.
She knows how I can turn on flamboyancy like really quick.
Hmm.
Like so, yeah. I have a knack for it. You would say.
Can you turn it off?
No, once I start, like if I start down that road, I'm going to be sitting in your lap by the end of the night.
I'm confused by your line. Where's your line? Because the getting a hand job with Ryan Reynolds was what?
I was saying,
whoa,
I was
whoa.
just stating for the record that that's not what I was fantasizing about with Chris Pratt.
But so you're saying that you were fantasizing about sitting in Justin's lap by the end of the night.
No, I'm saying if I start to go into flamboyant mode, like it's just going to carry on. I don't know how to turn it off. Yeah,
How long does this last? Have you seen a doctor?
till I wake up,
Is it 4 hours?
and then I wake up and everything's a blur.
If it lasts longer than 4 hours,
Do you feel like you need to take some Advil or put some lotion in the nethers afterwards?
Only if it was a successful night of being flamboyant.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, good.
Good to know.
So, anywho,
So, Andy, I brought a book for you.
okay,
What was that all we wanted to talk about on the
yeah.
gay
The guy crush,
guy
yeah.
crushes?
I'm just glad that I'm not the only guy that's like fantasized about like hanging out with a celebrity dude.
no.
Oh, that was the assignment, hanging out with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew.
like,
I knew that.
misunderstood
I knew
that greatly.
I did know that.
I thought it was who do you have a man crush on?
I thought I set it up right. I said, as someone that you've always wanted to hang out with, think you would get along well with.
It's not fair because you told me that this barista looked like Henry Cavill, so then
Does.
I started thinking Henry Cavill, and
I understand, but yeah, that was That's all I was saying is I think me and Chris Pratt would have been best buddies, but only Parks and Rec Chris Pratt.
Not
as soon as he did. I think he did Zero Dark 30, where all of a sudden he was like shredded. And then at that moment when I saw him, I was like, we'll never be friends now. Like we have nothing to talk about.
Wait, what were you going to talk about before?
When he was like kind of an overweight slob, that's my guy. We would have gone to the bar and ate chicken wings and watched the game.
That guy still eats chicken wings.
That dude does.
I bet he eats like protein bars and yeah. I get that vibe. I don't know.
I mean, he may have made different. He may have a regular health diet thing, but he probably still knows how to have fun.
Also, you could smash chicken wings and still be eating
It's
healthy.
true. Yeah. And his father-in-law is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So like think how fun that would be. Hang out, get close enough to where you get to go to like family events.
Could be fun.
That would be dope. Hanging out with Arnold would be a blast.
Yeah.
The stories. Think about it.
With the accent.
Get
Stories
to
with
the
accent.
chopper.
Yeah. Just like, hey, we got to go to the store. Can you just say it one time? Get to the chopper. And yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, okay, cool. So, I guess I can't think of who I'd want to hang out with celebrity wise.
I am
It's still
still
Henry
just
Cavill.
thinking
You want to hang
over
out and
here.
play games with him.
I do, yeah.
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 You can just leave out the hand job part.
It might be fun to hang out with Post Malone.
I'm not leaving out
Okay,
the hand
Post Malone
job.
seems like an interesting dude.
Not
He
leaving out the
also
hand
really
job.
likes magic.
For me, and it doesn't have to be like that for you, part of me has to be like, I think he would also like me. And it's totally a fantasy because it's not going to happen.
No, I
period.
do get that.
But like, it's like, I think we would gel. I know you would enjoy Post Malone, but do you think Post Malone would be like, this guy's pretty cool? This
I think
almost
Post Malone
40-year-old
would be
dude.
pretty chill with a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so. Based on what I've seen, he does a lot of collaboration, like magic games, videos, and
Okay.
stuff. And he gets along there with everyone who's there.
Yeah.
He just seems like someone who's
He seems relaxed.
Yeah,
Very laid back.
exactly.
I don't
And,
know
like,
enough about him, so I'll take your word for
I
it.
don't listen to his music or anything, but every appearance that I've seen and everything, he does seem like the guy you could just kick back and
He's just
have a magic with.
I want to know more about him because he's gotten interesting. He used to be he's doing country now. What was he doing? Was it pop or what would you call what he did before?
I think it was like hip hop.
Hip hop? Whatever it is, but
Was that really old for me to say? Was it rap?
I don't know what you call it. Either way, it's odd to see a country musician with that many tats now, but he also like pulls it off. He looks like a country musician from Florida.
That's
Yeah.
weirdly accurate, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, real quick on Florida. I was thinking about this the other day.
Oh,
Bear
okay.
with me.
Yep.
I might have been under the influence when I came up with this line of thinking.
I'm here.
We're talking about Ron's and how Ron's in Glenville. Well, the
Hamburgers and
governor of Florida is Ron DeSantis, and I saw a news article the other day where it was like it said Governor Ron DeSantis, but in my head I was like Governor Ron, and then I started thinking about it, and Florida's last governors have been Jeb, Rick, and Ron.
This works.
Isn't that just kind of the ultimate Florida?
I don't know enough about Florida to make that decision.
The thing is, I always thought Florida was Miami. Like when I pictured Florida, I pictured
exotic,
Miami.
exotic, and there's tan people.
That's such a small part of Florida.
That's
like,
incredibly.
When I drove to see my sister like 2 years ago, we drove to Florida. So we crossed the Florida-Georgia line, and I stopped at a gas station, and it was the most interesting, like, hillbilly is not the right word. Everybody was barefoot.
No, it's red. It's redneck, but with a beach vibe.
Yeah.
It's it exactly where you're talking about. So, well, actually, not Georgia. I apologize. Alabama, the Floribama line is one of the most interesting places. It cannot be replicated anywhere else in this world. It is redneck beach, and it's like we're drinking whiskey on the porch while we listen to the waves.
Yeah. No,
We're gonna go surfing while we smoke out of our tobacco pipes and talk about the olden days.
well, when I was little, I thought there was only a couple kinds of rednecks. Like there was rednecks, hillbillies, and Cajuns. Like that was kind of the three.
Those are the three. Yeah.
I gotta say, since moving up here, and Tulsa doesn't have a whole lot, but I've got to go take trips over to Missouri, and like the people in the Ozarks are a breed unto themselves.
Yeah, that's
called Deliverance.
Yeah. So, but then you have the Florida Georgia line, like we're talking. Like I think there's multiple like different species of redneck in this country, and it's all regional, but they're all very fascinating. So
They are fun to watch.
yeah,
They do have similarities.
they're all some stuff together, but then there's some stuff that sets them apart from the other rednecks. The ones up, I got to go to Lake of the Ozarks on the 4th of July, and like as soon as you got 3 miles away from the lake, you were in an interesting part of the country, different part of redneck than I've ever seen in my life.
So, like in every group, you will have almost guaranteed. If there's a group of 20, you will have someone in a wife beater,
Yep.
someone with a NASCAR hat,
100.
someone with a mullet, someone with a handlebar mustache, and someone's titties are falling out. That's pretty much
Yeah,
what you will find.
I feel like you just covered one person.
It could be one person, but it's generally like you might have to play. We should make a redneck bingo
That would be fun.
the next time we all go on a vacation. Redneck bingo as we're going.
Also, that based on my history, that genuinely the one person you just described, not the 6 people, the one person, that could also be the nicest person you've ever met in your entire life.
With the coolest backstory.
yeah.
Right? Like you don't know what you're going to get because some of them are just plain assholes.
Well, and they got-
and intolerant of anything. It just because I live in a city, they would be like, "No, get out of here." And then some of them would give you their shirt off of their back, and their titties would be entirely exposed. And
They're man titties, by the way.
we don't know.
Dude,
We don't know. They have the mustache, but we still just don't know.
the most interesting rednecks are rednecks with cash, basically. Like there was an event that
yeah.
happens it's somewhere in North Texas called Rednecks with Paychecks. Have you guys ever seen anything like
I've
this?
heard, but no,
is
I've
this?
not seen.
Rednecks with Paychecks. Look them up on Instagram at some point. It's the richest rednecks with a lot of toys. They come in pulling like a fifth wheel camper that also has like a flatbed area with a monster truck of a UTV on it.
Yeah.
And then they have like parades at night where there's beads and flashing. They have tractor pulls, all kinds of stuff. But they're on their Instagram page every time they have one. They have them like twice a year. For the next couple of weeks, it's just videos on there. It looks like a lot of fun.
This sounds disgusting. Tell me when the next one is,
Dude.
just in case I need to protest it. And
So my buddy Docs so we haven't done it yet, but we're talking about, he's a photographer. So we're talking about him like writing them and trying to get like press credential type things for 2. So I can be his helper. So we can get in for free and like just get kind of all around all access. But it would be one of the most fun times ever.
What if we just did it from the GD podcast?
We should do a live broadcast from there.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll have to look at it. It might not be your flavor. Look at
Don't is all my flavor.
Yeah, it looks like a wild time.
everything sounds fantastic
Yeah.
there. Some of them might not accept me. I'm a city boy.
I feel like the theme song is from the Lego movie. Everything is awesome.
Dude, I think we just have to go in disguise. Like we have to blend in with the people.
Okay.
Like, we could give that look. Like I think all 3 of us could get into that look pretty easily.
Yes. You know what though? You say rednecks with paychecks. These must be blue collar workers.
I'll tell you what, if they are, they do a good job getting into redneck mode. Like they all probably have good jobs doing something, but they
I mean, construction folks.
I'll
Like,
tell you
could
what.
be, yeah.
Coming from my line of work, there's some old rednecks there that are some of the best decision makers and executives that I've worked with.
Well, they grew up like in that environment. Some of them on farmlands and stuff like that, where they had to make tough decisions and kind of weigh their options, plan out, forecast, all that jazz on the weather. So then that makes things exponentially more difficult, I would think.
I don't know why when you said tough decisions, I was like euthanasia. Like,
real decisions.
well, because I went back to like the 1910s, 1850s when like everyone had 17 kids because like 6 of them weren't making it out. Like,
Right.
hey, we got to have the workforce
Yeah.
in here. And for whatever reason, you're like, well, the brother 3 has to go now. I see that. And I'm like, no, this is we're in the 2020s.
2020s,
They would just send them to the hospital, and then the decision would be made later.
I just let Steven go play out there with the donkeys today.
Yeah, take them out to the old
He got
farm.
kicked when he was younger. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure this also still exists. If I'm being honest,
There's definitely that still
yeah,
exists.
it still exists. That's in the Ozarks.
Exactly.
Yep.
They don't have a farm. They just have the donkey. They just have a donkey. Where did the donkey come from? I don't know. But they're generational donkeys. Just donkey after donkey. Just one, too. It's not like they can breed. There's just another donkey there. They just keep finding a damn donkey. Okay, I'm going to.
He's been holding that in for a number of years.
It's been a few years.
This is fun. I don't care. That was fun.
Anyway, hey, quick question.
Got it.
Do either of you know anybody with a micro penis besides Andy?
No comment. Well, here's the thing. I don't know that I do or don't because I don't know that it's ever really. I don't know that they're jumping at giving that commitment to like I just need to get ahead of this and tell you about it.
Hey, I've got a micro penis. Like, yeah, that's I don't see that either. So the reason why I asked this is we were hanging out on Sunday and like the wives went into dress try-on mode. I'm talking to my wife afterwards, and she said, yeah, like, you know, we just changed all together. And I thought about it, and I said, just like everything changed, or just your dress has changed? Like, oh, you know, I'm not wearing anything, so it's a Sunday afternoon. I'm being relaxed. No need to be constrained by underwear. So you're just comfortable being naked in front of these other women. And yeah, like guys don't do that.
Real quick, I got to back us up to the micro penis. 'Cause
Okay.
My
We're
initial
still
thought,
there.
sorry,
we
this is
never,
on my mind
we
now.
never left.
We didn't.
My initial thought was we all probably statistically know someone with micro penis. We might not know that, but I in my mind I was like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. Like, what's the number? Like who? Like, so
Data?
I got data right here in front of me. I want to hear you guys' guesses. What percentage of Americans?
Okay.
Or is this America? So this is globally. What percentage of people have a micro penis?
Okay, so let me go back. What is the definition of a micropenis?
I'm glad you asked because I was
Thank you.
gonna. I was
Thank
okay, let's start there. What would you guys think? It's like it's a cutoff.
Would you just tell me?
No,
the
no, no,
answer?
no. It's a cutoff. Blank inches or under is a micro peen.
Okay, one more question.
Okay.
We're talking fully erect.
Probably doesn't.
Yeah,
say
a
that.
stretched penile length (SPL). A stretched.
Wow, it's that was a thing.
acronym.
I'm
SPL.
going to use
Yeah.
it. That's going in the
Okay.
going in the vocab.
So an SPL.
I don't know what's going to come up, but I'm going to drop an SPL in front of Justin at a dinner, like a fancy dinner sometime. And
What's
he's
your
gonna just
SPL?
die.
Fill in the blank. You will get diagnosed with the condition if your penis has a stretched penile length or SPL
I cannot hear it and laugh.
of blank,
That's so funny to me.
of blank or under.
Blank or
2 inches.
1 3/4.
You guys, so I think some some people here might be dangerously close to the cutoff. 3.67 inches or under is considered a micropene.
Okay.
The average length is
Hold
5.25.
on. I have to go somewhere.
So that's only an inch and a half. Like average is only an inch and a half off of micropene
Okay, hold on. Is that average male in the world or average
globally.
globally?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So now that we know it's 3.67 and under,
Okay, so then if we're taking into account the
he's got a tape measure. We're gonna figure this out. Don't forget to measure from the
hold
bottom
on,
of the
are we
shaft.
going to try to do the you guess?
no, that would be funny though. You said 3 point.
3.67. So 3 2/3 basically.
2/3?
Yeah. Ah, that was
You're going
backwards.
to push it down further.
Oh,
Push it in further.
yeah. So that's how you
That's
measure.
what
I
she
know.
said. Yeah. There we
So
go.
we're gonna go right.
It might be broken.
It might be broken. Yeah, because that is it pushed in. So I'm gonna get my hand on the side of it.
Yeah, I thought a micropene was
Stretched
smaller.
penile
SPL
SPL.
is this.
I thought a micropene was smaller, but
I thought it was this.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you're talking about like what kind of force are we putting on it here? Are we like
what, yeah, does it have like a tensile strength we're supposed to be
now?
pulling?
All I
I'm
can
doubting.
tell you is
I'm
that
doubting the data.
yeah, it's SPL. We can
And then
look
you
that up
said
next.
average is
5 and
Average is 5.25, so 5 1/4.
okay.
is that from here or from where your finger is?
No, it's from the bottom.
Okay.
It's from the bottom there. Right.
So from
So that's only
Yeah, the
like
whole
an
thing,
inch and
the
a
whole
half
thing.
difference. That's interesting.
Okay, so and the average is 5.25.
Yes.
And we know that a certain race of people exists.
Yeah, so they're bringing up the
They're
overall
bringing the average up.
Yeah.
And then we also know the Asians are bringing it down.
your people.
Okay. So
It's more Indians than.
all right. So given the
also
fact
Asian, though.
that you say the average is not that much different,
Yeah.
I mean, it's different, but we're not talking like when my original thought we were talking like I want to feel like they put it into a quartile.
A quartile?
Yeah.
Explain,
So,
data guy.
I want to say that those numbers were gathered because they fractioned it out, not because they said this is small and this is average. They said this is average, so we're going to classify a micropene by putting it into the bottom quartile, and that's where the break off is. Like you didn't get to 3.67 by measuring 3,000 dicks and then saying, yeah, that's
a
3.67. So I'm going to say 25% has a micro penis, and they got to the 3.67 number by going bottom 25% is going to be a micro.
25% your final answer.
I'm going to say 14.
You guys are so far off. 0.6% of people have the condition. 1.5 in 10,000.
Okay, so how many dicks did they measure?
I don't know.
Sounds like 10,000.
I hate that. I hate it. I think we need some new. I think we need some
You
new
should
numbers here.
start measuring. Start a campaign. Figure out what
Because
Tulsa
here's the
is.
thing: how much force is the stretch? Because
Right? Do they
there's
have the
some-
same
There's
pull?
some stretch available.
Yeah, I'm curious on that.
Like, did they hook it up to a spring so the spring has the tensile
many pounds of
return
torque?
Yes, not torque because that's rotational, but like the tensile pull of a spring, and so everyone is just up there. And then how do they grip it?
I didn't mean to mislead you, but I was not there for these studies.
I thought you had that study done.
I didn't
Yeah.
qualify.
So that and the fact that the idea that we decided 3.67.
Neither of those are
So it feels like the number 3.67 is just pulled out of nowhere.
Well, who decided that? Yes, this is the micro penis.
Please do more research. This is really
Okay.
bugging me. I can't.
Was there a committee? Did they vote?
Guessing,
I was
I
not on
don't
the
know.
SPL.
Who
the
decided to
SPLC.
cut off?
Yeah. Can we make an SPLC?
I've already trademarked it.
A micropenis is a medical term used to describe a penis that's much smaller than the average. They're caused by hormonal or genetic reasons, such as being Asian.
Well, if Google says it.
Micropenises are very rare. Studies show that globally only 0.6% of people have the condition. Your doctor will usually diagnose you with the condition if your penis
I
has...
hate that. I hate that. Oh, I hate it again. Okay, let me stretch your dick real quick.
You go to the urologist, you pull your pants down, and he goes, "Oh, hold on, get that spring over here. Let's check this SPL."
Let me stretch
So hold on,
this.
wait. Apparently, they can spot this at birth because an early sign of a micropenis is that it's less than 0.75 inches at birth.
The part I love the most about it
The- oh,
is
and
the
wait.
doctor diagnoses you and like, what's the cure?
The average.
you just have a
Hold
small
on.
dick, man.
I got some issues with what this next line. The average SPL for a newborn is 1.5. Whose job is it to stretch the newborns?
It's the Jewish people, you know, when they're
cutting it?
Yeah, the
Apparently, they're measuring baby
circumcisions.
dicks right out of the womb. Is what I'm gathering.
Someone did.
At birth, you might have other complications alongside this this disorder. I can't read anymore.
Is this what goes on? Like when, because we're girl dads. Is this what happens? Like
Yeah,
at birth?
that's true. This is the opposite of Girl Dad podcast, but
Yeah.
that's the content people are here for. We don't know. We don't know what we're going to talk
Nope.
about.
So in the comments, if you have a son, let us know if they said diagnosed your. Well, okay, maybe don't tell us that.
Maybe don't mention that in the comments.
But okay, look at the stat sheet. Is there a line for SPL?
Start a burner.
And is there a number on it?
Start
What
a
happens
burner
is
account.
when they put the baby in that little plastic area to like clean it off. Like one of the doctors looks and then gives the dad a thumbs up, like looks at the dick and is like, he's good. Or they're like, we're gonna have to talk later. But if you get the thumbs up,
I
everything's
want to
good.
know, like, when you get discharged in the paperwork, if you're
Ugh.
flipping through it, you know, they got the measurements like 21.5 inches, 7.5 pounds, and then
SPL.
SPL.
2.3. Looking good. You're almost there, bud.
Dude, I'm gonna start asking people like, when women talk about how many pounds the kid weighed when it's born. I'm gonna ask the dad, what was your son's SPL? Nice, nice.
Wow, no, don't say nice afterwards.
That's
no
a
matter
good
what the answer
SPL.
is, don't say nice afterwards.
You gotta give him knuckles. Get it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you left me hanging. It's cool.
I put my hand.
Yeah,
Boom.
but like what I was saying, what the doctor diagnoses you with it. That's the worst thing I've heard because what's
Man.
the solution?
You just
What's
you
the
have a
solution?
micro.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just diagnosed you.
Is that when you get the kettlebell and the clamps and you just like
Hold on, wait.
wave it between your
Oh,
knees?
there's more.
Follow.
But wait, there's
Your
more.
treatment will depend on the cause of your micropenis. Treatment options include testosterone. I'm just going to skim this, but yeah. I was reading the different reasons that you might have a micropenis. Some of them are like low testosterone. Your balls didn't produce enough to make your dick grow. I guess I'm skipping through some stuff, but so testosterone.
that does sound scientific.
Well,
yeah.
there's only two. Okay, they made it sound like there was going to be a list of possible fixes here.
What's the other one?
Surgery. Doctors only consider this line of treatment if the other options don't work. So they try the testosterone first.
Are they giving testosterone to children?
Oh man, it's called phalloplasty.
Can you forward me that link?
Like, they call
Just
it
in
penis a
case for
phallus.
further
research.
scientific
Yeah.
research.
Phalloplasty or surgical reconstruction of a micropenis for young children can be risky. Surgery for young adults and adults is a lot more common. Okay, yeah. So they try not to do the micropenis surgery on kids.
That would be the most insecure parent I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's crazy.
That has to be top 1% of insecure parents. We got to get this micropenis surgery on my blank-year-old because
Oh, shit, okay, hold on.
Every time I talk, you're telling me to hold on.
I'm sorry. Keep going. And
No, I'm not talking about children's penises anymore.
Nope.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. I'm glad I stopped
We're
that.
cutting it.
So I think what we all think of when we think micropenis is actually called a inconspicuous penis. That's a medical term. An inconspicuous penis means the penis is hard to see. Micropenis is the rarest condition under the umbrella inconspicuous penis. So apparently there's more inconspicuous penises than there are just micropenises.
Justin, is there any chance we get a penis count on this conversation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I've said it the most.
Probably.
I tried to throw dick in there a couple times just to.
You both have said P.
I'm reading it off the internet, and
Sure.
it seems like a legit like medical study. Oh, there's a thing called a webbed penis. It's when your scrotum is connected to the underside of your penis.
I'm sorry.
It's like the thing, like the people with the thing
I
on the
wanna keep
bottom of the
going.
tongue that's long.
Yeah.
Except it's just your.
I just keep
your-
thinking
your
of when
boys-
Batman lifts his arms and it's
The Batwing.
yeah, just pull it straight up and it's
Hold on, we gotta go left. I got it.
yeah, it's like the dinosaurs in
like-
Jurassic Park.
that's
The
what
ones that
that's
spew
exactly what I was like.
yeah,
It like presents itself.
exactly.
It also spews venom. Just
This does spew venom. It burns the
Yeah.
eyes.
That's so right.
But it's
Okay.
good for the skin.
It's helpful to the skin, is what I heard.
Yeah. Tighten those wrinkles.
I think it's for acne. So anyhow, I'm done. I don't know what other conditions. Once I got to webbed one,
I
it's
can't
over.
believe how happy I am that we went down that just
Yeah.
from learning the SPL, which
SPL.
should have never been a thing.
You know what? I'm curious, and this might have to get cut from the podcast, but like I'm curious, can you achieve a greater SPL through stretching rather than erection? Which one would be longer?
I'm going to find out.
It sounds like we got to run some tests.
I'm going to find out.
Yeah. I got to think you could stretch it farther than it could naturally.
Tune in next week for that answer.
You might need to cut that. Anyhow.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's a whole like
I'm curious for medical reasons. That's all I'm saying.
well there are like groups of individuals in the world who do that.
What
They
about
tie
our,
weights to their junk?
I've seen
what
that.
about our
That's
grower
odd.
versus shower argument here?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't a shower be just like
No SPL?
I think so.
I don't know. But if I'm honestly not sure the elasticity.
You know how I can tell that we're all
I've never-
growers? Because none of us, we're all clueless.
We don't have an answer, yeah.
But I don't know. Like I never have been like, let me stretch this as far as I can do it and measure
You've
it.
never done that? I never measured it.
I can't say that I ever have.
I was curious, like, okay.
Whoa. Well, that,
Johan, wait, say that again. You did what?
Stretched it. You never stretched? You never like
I've never stretched it and then like measured it.
No,
I
I
thought-
didn't
I thought
measure
that's
it.
what you were saying.
No,
It's
no, no. I
like-
said I never
Like,
measured.
oh, it just so happens I've already conducted this study
No,
just in
no.
case. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well,
But when it comes to measuring, like we're all in the agreements, like you push that to the pelvic bone.
you measure from the
you
bottom.
go-
That's
you,
the trick.
You,
From the bottom.
You
Yeah.
can pierce the skin pushing down on it to make sure it goes as far into the pelvic bone
Well,
as
and
possible.
from the bottom is the most accurate because it's on top of the tape measure at that point.
Yep. It's the best way to do it, and it's the most favorable.
Straight to the back of the legs. It's 14 inches, I think.
Woo!
It hit the wall behind me, so I'm pretty sure that's where it stops.
Exactly.
That'll be,
I
that'll
don't
be
know how we
interesting to review tomorrow.
I was like contemplating this whole evening whether or not I was going to bring up the micropenis,
Dude.
and I'm happy I did because we learned the most valuable fact of the day: SPL.
100%. I never knew or thought that I really thought it would be erect.
What I'm struggling with
I
right
do too.
now is that I was going to go in tomorrow and tell the people at the coffee shop, like, hey, we talked about your podcast. You should listen. But now, based off everything we followed, I don't think I'm going to mention this to them.
Why
might
not?
be-
Yeah.
This seems like the best possible way after your Instagram. This
Maybe
seems
Marty
like
will
the
really
best
relate to
possible way.
this.
Yeah, Marty would be like, that is a cool dude.
So it's
That
funny.
is a cool dude.
Marty, his fiance works there with him too, so I'm gonna have to see her next time, and she'll be the one giving me the looks. It'll be fun.
Does Marty? He's
You
just,
really trapped yourself in a web here. So
Yep.
if you do introduce the pod to them,
was,
you're
was it a web penis?
The Batwing. That's what it would be. It'd be the Batwing.
I just remember, was it Paul Newman? Or that what's that guy's name?
It's not Paul Newman.
No. The thicker
Yeah.
dude. What
But it is Newman from
Newman. Yeah, that's where
From
I got Newman.
Seinfeld.
That's where I
Jurassic
got
Park.
Newman.
Yeah, when he's in the Jeep. And
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? Newman from Seinfeld?
It's just say Newman. That's how. Yeah, if you knew
Everybody-
his name,
Hello,
everyone
no one
would
knows
know
his name.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, him getting spit on, and that
Yeah.
is now what I associate to a web penis.
Yep. 100%.
The next time I see Jurassic Park, I'm just going to start laughing, and my wife and kid are going to be like, "What?" And I can't
You're like
explain
the
it to them.
SPL.
This dinosaur's SPL is intense.
Dude, that should have been the name of our podcast. Is SPL.
That's going to be the name of this episode.
100%.
We got.
The SPLC.
The dads joined the SPLC.
I knew that.
That is the perfect "It's Always Sunny" like
Yeah.
intro, like we were talking about earlier. Like,
Oh my god! I just thought of that. Can that be our intro from now on? We
the measure of your penis is not
SPL.
erect or soft.
Yeah.
It is
And that
SPL.
doesn't make any sense to me.
If you have
Now,
boys,
soft makes
check that
sense.
SPL.
Soft makes sense. That would not be an accurate measurement.
Because there's growers and showers.
Yeah. So erect feels like the way to go.
I feel like that too.
Why are we just stretching it? Okay, does that give an
Okay, but you can't if they're doing it in infants, is like you can't just be like
get erect?
so they have to stretch it.
So we don't have to do it with infants. We don't have to do that with infants. We don't.
maybe you don't.
We really don't need to do that.
It's not going to affect them.
Is that an accurate measure of erect?
I don't know. It's a good point. Can I stretch it as much it is? No, I've got some experiments to do tonight.
Can I say this? And hopefully, maybe you'll have to cut this. But there's different points you can attach for the stretch. If you attach to the tip and stretch, I don't think you're going to get it as far as if you attach to some of this. I think you could pull that skin past the tip.
Oh, well, and then it depends on if you're circumcised or not.
Those guys have a great SPL.
They've got a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Huge advantage.
Well, but they measure this at birth before you're cut, so that's the same.
We
playing
still don't
field.
need to measure this at birth. That never needs to be a
I
thing.
always thought micropenes were something where, like, the mom at the age of 4, no, when they're still bathing their kid, whatever, 2-ish, they go into the doctor and they're like, "Hey, is that normal?" And the doctor looks and goes, "Oh, that's not normal."
I
at
thought
all."
that this was the qualification of micropenis.
That's the unconscious. What what was the name of that?
Not unconscious. The penis is not unconscious.
Hold on, there was a word for it.
Inconspicuous.
Inconspicuous.
I feel like that's if you have this, you got a micropene.
Yeah, you don't. I can say that I'm a doctor right now. If that is your SPL.
There's leather on top of this.
Actually, if that's just your normal.
Another phrase for inconspicuous penis is buried penis.
That's so much more humiliating
Buried in your
somehow.
mom.
Okay, there's that. That's not bad. I enjoyed that. That was
Sorry.
funny. That was funny.
Small penis syndrome is when you're actually average length, but you like obsess about it, and it's like it's a mental thing. You think you have a small penis. Body dysmorphia. It's under that umbrella.
Interesting.
Is that like dick
That makes
envy?
sense.
Pardon me, guys.
That sounds like
I need a moment on the mic if you don't mind.
Go for it.
How to measure a penis.
Okay.
There- Okay.
Taking
You,
notes.
you may be surprised to learn that penis length isn't measured on the erect penis.
Stare at the camera during this whole thing.
Too many variables are involved, so no erect penises. Instead, the most reliable measurement is through SPL. The longer the person's SPL, the longer their erect penis length. To learn your SPL, measure your penis while it's flaccid or limp. Press the ruler tight against the pubic bone at the base of the penis. Don't just measure from where the penis separates from the scrotum. So they're telling you to push in.
To push in. That's
Okay.
what we were right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, gently but very firmly stretch the penis as far as it will go.
How does one
measure
gently
from the
but
pubic
firmly?
bone to the tip of the stretched penis? They don't say there if you're grabbing the outer skin or the tip.
They said
Grab
from the
it.
tip.
I'm assuming you grabbed the tip.
Yeah.
Said from the tip.
Okay,
The
yeah.
last thing you said was from the tip.
No, it says measure from the pubic bone to the tip of the, okay, yeah, to the
the
tip of
tip.
the stretched penis.
That's
Okay.
how we measure our okay.
So that they didn't say top or bottom though, and I feel like that makes about a half to a full inch difference.
Wait, from
I'm
the
going from the
tip?
bottom.
There's only one tip.
No,
Same from the top or the
under-
bottom, top of the
from-
shaft or bottom of the shaft. You can get an extra half inch easy.
Oh,
if
I'm
you get
thinking,
bottom of the
I'm thinking
shaft.
pelvic bone. Like,
That's true. So it's got to be the top. You're right.
Yeah.
The way they worded that.
yeah, the pelvic bone's not below.
Okay.
Now gently, but very firmly.
Yeah,
stretch
gently
the
but
penis.
firmly is an oxymoron, and I don't
Yeah.
like it. But
Will one of you help me with this?
I don't know if I can talk
Which
your wife
part?
into helping you.
I don't know if I can hold the ruler and gently but firmly.
yeah,
pull.
I'll hold the ruler. I'll hold the ruler.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm glad I pulled that back up because now we know how they measure it. So that's how they measure it. But they do instruct you to push down because you got to get through some of the flub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an accurate measurement otherwise.
I mean, they said that in erect penis, there's too many variables. It could be how erect are we talking?
Yeah. We should all just take a Viagra
Oh, see?
Yeah.
and then do it
That's
that time.
Medically induced.
And that's
Science.
Yeah.
as
Science.
pert as it could be.
Are we talking fast times at Ridgemont High hard, or are we talking like
I've got a buddy that's been trying to convince
Yoga
me to
pants at a
try
supermarket?
like generic Viagra for the past 2 or 3 years. Like every time I talk to him, he'll find a way to be like, "Oh, by the way, like if I told you about these, he's getting them off some website and they're like generic Viagra." And he loves, and I don't think he needs them. I think he's using them as like a performance enhancer, obviously. But he's severely trying to get me to
I've
jump on that
always
bandwagon.
wondered what it would be like.
Apparently, you can get them for very
Fine.
cheap online.
Sure.
I'll buy you some and you can report back.
You have to get
I
prescribed.
would.
It's still a prescription.
Sorry, I had a funny thought come through my head.
Yeah.
I was going to say we'll get Morgan to report back. I don't want to hear your experience. I want to hear Morgan's experience.
Kill it. Never again.
I get the feeling that quickly my wife would be like, "Don't use those pills anymore." Like, I'm
Right.
tired.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
For
I'm
sure.
not looking for a showstopper. Can you just get it over with? That's my wife's attitude. We've been married for 14 years. So at this point, she doesn't want me to impress her. She wants me to get it over with.
It's still funny that all the medical advances we've made, we still haven't solved a lot of issues, but we tackled that one early.
Oh yeah.
We tackled that one early. We like, oh my God, we've got this cancer. We got these issues that we just can't figure out. And some guys like, my dick won't get
Dude,
hard. Because no. Everyone. Who's our best guys? This guy's got to get hard.
Dude.
This guy.
Chris Rock has an old bit that was in one. It was either in Bigger. I think it was in Bigger and Blacker. One of his best like stand-ups. But he talks about like if you're blind, they didn't even try. They just give you a dog, and they're like, "Here, you got a dog. Like,
Yeah.
we're not wasting time on
Yeah.
that." If you have, and he goes through all the things. But he's like, as soon as guys' dicks stop working, like drop what you're doing. We got to get to the bottom.
We
of
got to
this.
figure
Like,
this
we
out.
need a fix.
Because I'm like, I get it. It's blood flow, right?
Yeah.
How do we get a pill that's like, let's just direct this over here.
Yeah, it's
Let's
easy.
just make this go over
How do
this
they
way.
determine like this is where it's going to go because of these chemicals we put in here?
I believe that it increases the blood flow to all
just
parts of your
blood flow,
body.
period.
Yeah. That's why if you have heart problems, apparently you're not supposed to take that stuff. Or high blood pressure, maybe. There's certain people that can't take that. So
I don't have that. So
Yeah.
it would be, I've always had the curiosity. I'm like, maybe it would be something to do once.
I can help you out with that.
Don't. With what?
I'll get you some.
So I'm glad he said that because I was about to say something that now I'm going to preface. If either of you guys are already doing this, then I don't mean any disrespect with this. But I think mentally I look at it like the day that I finally have to take that, like I'm almost admitting defeat a little bit.
It sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So I have low testosterone.
Okay. You said you're doing testosterone
Yeah.
replacement.
So I take testosterone
Okay.
because
Gotcha.
I have the testosterone of a 73-year-old man.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes
And
sense.
taking testosterone did not fully solve that problem.
After I talked to you about this one time, I remember I told my wife, I was like, I kind of want to get tested for testosterone. And she was like, okay, well, what are the signs? And I was like, I don't know. And we looked it up, and one of them was like low sex drive. And she was like, you don't have low testosterone. Like, you're fine. I'll let you know when you need it.
Neither of you do. I did.
Okay.
Like, and it was recognized by my wife. She's like, you don't ever want to have sex. I'm like, yep,
That's
you're on
my,
point.
my buddy Docs, who exists, and one day I'll prove it.
Sure.
But I remember when we were 17, he was dating the hottest girl I'd ever seen in my life. And they were having sex on a regular basis. And he ended up breaking up with her, and we couldn't fathom it. She was a 10. And we were like, why? Why are you breaking up with her? And he goes, all she ever wants to do is have sex. At 17 years old, that blew my mind. I couldn't fathom.
Problem solved.
Yeah. I was like, what are you
let's just
talking
have
about?
sex.
Yeah. And that I still, to this day, I look back at that and I'm like, what the heck, dude? Like, why?
Can you please bring that up on your other podcast?
I will bring that up for you on the other one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyhow.
so yeah, so I tried all things, so I can hook you guys up if you really truly want to know.
No, like I said, until I need it, I'm not.
Okay.
That's just my personal stance.
I don't know.
I very much would like to do like try testosterone, but the thing that I didn't know till you explained it to me is once you start taking it, your body stops producing it, and therefore you have to take it for the rest of your life. And
It's not like a once and done thing,
but yeah,
but when you start taking it regularly, your body will just be like, oh, I don't need to make this anymore.
I think that's the beginning of us like learning how to screw with.
Yeah.
Like right now, the what do they call it? The average lifespan has been decreasing the last couple of years, and I feel like testosterone is going to be part of the key to that. Keep you
what's-
younger, longer.
You know what's fun is it stopped decreasing, and for the first time, obesity in America went down.
During COVID or when?
No, this year.
This year, okay.
Probably 2023 data, if
Yeah.
I were to guess.
There's something weird that happened with COVID where like a lot of people suddenly got in this like I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to start working out. And I don't know if it was COVID or if it was the fact that we were all home and didn't have anything better to do, but like there seems to be a national like we like all three of us probably will end up in conversations with people where we talk about hydrating, protein, getting your steps or whatever it is, where I feel like 5 years ago that wasn't guy talk.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to argue it with one simple word:
Okay.
Ozempic.
Yeah, I don't like Ozempic, but
But you don't have to. However, we now have a drug that can make
Yeah.
you lose weight, and it will make you lose weight. It's not a question if and or but. It will make you lose weight.
Gotcha.
It will not make you lose weight the right way.
Yeah, is it healthy weight loss?
No, but the fact that what are most Americans dying of?
yeah, obesity and heart
Obesity
failure.
and heart disease.
Yeah.
And that will help that.
Will
Yeah.
it cause more risk of heart disease?
Well, that's what depends on like if you listen to certain podcasts, like there's 50% chance that you're going to have side effects and stomach paralysis and all that stuff, but doctors are still prescribing it like crazy. So part of me says if the doctors are still prescribing it, clearly that's not accurate. But then again, big pharma is, it's all about money. So
but I'm saying if you're telling me that the two biggest reasons people are dying, and maybe kind of one biggest reason caused by something else is heart disease caused by obesity, and I can give you a drug that helps that, then aren't
Yeah.
you helping
you are.
to give the second best chance to die to come in? So for the first time ever, or not ever, since like the 20s, I think, the curve stopped on obesity in America.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
And I don't think it's because we've all decided to start working out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bet. Would you agree that a small part of it is as a nation, we kind of are on a health kick right now, but most of it's probably Ozempic.
We definitely talk about it more.
Letty asked me, she said, hey, can I see that First Form energy drink? Because I want to see how many calories are in it.
How many carbs we got in that bad boy?
She said, okay, so there's 10 calories, and I don't know any of these other words, but there's 10 calories. No
Okay.
protein, Dad. And I was like, thanks, Letty. So,
Can you pass me that vial of Ozempic?
yeah.
I want to see how many. Let's see how many kcals are in that thing.
I'll say that, and this is definitely like I think this is not a good quality in me. But like when I meet people that are like, I've lost 30 pounds, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, what are you doing? And they're like, I'm taking Ozempic. I follow up in a way where I'm like, are you also moving? Are you? And if they're like, no, I'm just taking Ozempic, like that's cheating. Like I don't even want to congratulate you for your weight loss.
Because you've lost 50 by changing your lifestyle.
But you're not
Yeah.
you're not healthy. You're
Right.
not making yourself healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're making
And-
yourself less gravitational pull.
I know a
And
couple people
that's-
like that are like, oh, I'm looking how much they're celebrating. Look at me, but it's like I'm watching them. They're drinking Dr. Pepper and eating crap, but they're taking the shot.
And after you
Yeah.
drink the carbonated drink and you take the shot, you don't want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And
So we're going to have a bunch of malnourished people.
80-20 rule is 80% of your health comes in the kitchen, 20% of it comes in the gym or physical activity or whatever.
I think that's backward, actually.
No, it's
that's 100% accurate.
If you listen to a lot of these, like, not necessarily bodybuilders, but fitness individuals, CrossFit athletes,
Okay.
they will say 80% of this
80-20.
is your diet.
Okay, so I heard you wrong. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I thought you were saying 80% of it was the gym.
Oh, no.
Okay,
no.
my bad. I misheard that. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
when I before I started actually losing the weight, I had like 4 months where I was walking my ass off. I was getting my steps. I was getting 15,000 steps a day, and I still wasn't losing weight. And my sister had to tell me. She was like, I think she said it's 80% diet, 20% exercise. So if you're not watching your diet, and I I honestly thought I could walk enough to counter the shitty diet and I could just keep eating what I wanted, but walk enough to make up for it. And I did. And the second that I finally got serious about my diet, the weight started falling off. And it takes such effort to eat well versus eating crappy. Eating crappy is if you're lazy, eating crappy is the easiest thing in the world, but you just got to you got to cook at home and
all the time.
you got to do some meal
All the damn
planning,
time.
and it's all about having the effort and the time to do it. And I feel like that's something where I know a lot of people that suddenly started prioritizing. Like I'm going to make the fuel that I'm putting in my body. And for me, if I had a weird thing where I started thinking of everything I put in my body as fuel instead of food. It's just fuel. I need more fuel to keep going. And if I can trick myself into that mindset, I have a real easy time eating healthy.
Have you tried Ozempic and C4?
Haven't yet.
Okay, that is fuel.
Yep.
That
One
is
day.
fuel. No, you're 100% correct. I will say, like, we spend 3 to 4 hours every Sunday while we're watching football. We have every meal made for the week, and they're all different. It's not chicken and rice. Every single thing is different. 5 days a week out of the 7 days. We don't do all 7 days. 5 days a week. We make every meal. Everything is ready. All we have to do is make the protein, whatever it is that night. So that's a huge help. I only eat protein for lunch. That's it. That is all. Breakfast is a mixed bag.
That's what. If I could stop being lazy, because same thing. Like over the weekend, I'll cook like a pack of like six pork chops and some chicken. Just get out the grill and cook it all at once and stick it in the fridge in a Ziploc bag. And when I get hungry for lunch, I pull out a pork chop and I eat it or something like that. And if I can do that, I'm good. I'm gold. But if I forget to do that over the weekend, if I get lazy or distracted, then Monday comes and it's like, oh yeah, I didn't cook anything. I guess I'll run down and get some lunch. And like, it's just a slippery slope from there where it's like, you gotta force yourself to put the time aside to do it.
What if we did that on football Sundays? Like, so we did the ingredient prep like they are doing, but like, if we come over to your house on Sundays, just bring, I
can fix that, by the way.
pork chops or chicken or whatever, and after you smoke the wings, just toss those on. Like, we're already cooking.
Yeah. No, I got a Traeger and a Weber on my back porch. So like, if y'all even wanted to bring your shit over to meal prep at my house, bring it over, cook it, stick it in a bag, take it home.
I go home 4 or 5 days a week now for
Nice.
lunch, which is an advantage I have for living close. And I make a steak. That's it. 100% steak with salt on it. That's it.
I cook right there.
What?
That's a sink.
There's a countertop.
Oh, okay.
This is going to seem backward, but let me get it out. But the fact that I work from home, I think makes it more likely that me personally, that I'm going to eat out for lunch
Yeah,
because
just to get away.
I
Yeah,
just
100%. I get that.
When my lunch break happens, like I want to go out and see people. I end up at the roast house 4 days a week, and they got good food there. They got coffee, and more importantly, like I just go in and I just chat for 15 or 20 minutes, and like that 15 or 20 minutes of just chatting it's a recharge of my
I'm
batteries.
doing the exact opposite. I'm getting the hell away from everybody and talking.
But you work in an office that has roughly how many people?
900.
900 people. So you're surrounded by people all day and you need an escape. I'm in the exact opposite boat where like I'm alone all morning. I talk to customers here and there, but I'm alone in my office. And when I get an hour to go get some lunch, like I just want to go chat. Like the food is secondary. I go get a latte for lunch and maybe some food, but I sit in there and chat with them for 15 or 20 minutes. They probably wish I would go away. Sorry guys, I'm not going away. I'm here to stay. Roast house.
Roast house.
I've become the old lady that corners people in the supermarket. Like my grandmother used to do that, where she would just corner a worker there, and you could see the desperation in their face, like they wanted to get away.
Just go get an oil change every 3 weeks so
Dude.
they have someone to talk to.
And I guarantee you, the people at Roast House see me coming, and they're like, "Shit, Andy's gonna come in here and talk to us." And yeah, I'm gonna, and I'm not leaving. I'm sorry.
Maybe if we make Andy look gay, he won't come back.
That's exactly. They were like, I got it. Let's make him gay walk across the parking lot, and then he'll stop coming. And instead, I came in the next day and was like, that video of me walking like that was funny, wasn't it? I couldn't wait to talk.
You guys
about
want to talk about it more?
I told them I'd do more videos.
Back to the drawing board.
Yep.
But yeah,
Charlie with the string.
I go home and I cook up a steak
Yeah, no.
every single day.
I need to find a way. And that's the thing, though, is if I pre-cook some meat, I could use my lunch break to run up there and get a cup of coffee. Again, they're not getting rid of me. But go get a cup of coffee, talk for a little bit, but then come home and heat up my pork chop. And then I'd be good. It's just a matter of I got to do the work on the weekend.
I also don't like pre-cooked things.
They're also
I'm weird about that.
real quick. The people at Roast House started the carnivore diet on Monday.
Yeah.
And they were wanting me to like do it with them so we could all be a support structure.
Yeah.
So I didn't start Monday, but maybe I'll start this coming Monday. Justin, you've done
it's-
carnivore. Have you done it too?
I love carnivore.
I would say my diet is
Damn near carnivore, not quite, but
not quite.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's definitely cheating at times, but for the most part, pretty much.
My experience with carnivore, I went like very deep into to carnivore. I was going so far as to reading the prepackaged like brats and sausages, and if it had any sugar in it,
no sugar.
any
Gotcha.
preservatives, I did not buy it. So I ended up learning how to make my own brats, which was delicious.
Why? By the way, why has that not happened again?
I don't know. I'll start.
That's
I'll start.
amazing.
So-
You have not experienced that. That is different level stuff.
I feel like, sorry, this is turning into an infomercial for Roast House.
Sure.
Your wife, the baker, the bakery that supplies all their baked goods, your wife actually knows the owner of that bakery. She said she grew up with her or something.
That wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's Miranda's Bakery or something. Anyhow,
Sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I go in to get a cup of coffee though, and they have a display case like right by the register that's like muffins and cannolis and croissants and all the best stuff. And that's the hardest part is like
See, I don't care about that stuff.
I don't
Justin?
care. I don't care about
I
candy.
don't care about that stuff.
I can pass a candy bar or shit like that easily, but like a baked good, like a muffin. Oh, I struggle. The muffins get me. So
I feel like you're gonna mess me up tomorrow morning having this conversation.
it's the carbs. Like the carbs speak to me, and they're the hardest thing for me to give up.
So
Well, I can say just don't go get a crappy donut from Quick Trip.
Yeah, it's Come and Go actually has phenomenal baked goods. I don't know. They have a strawberry and cream cheese Danish that are the best possibly from any gas station around.
I don't know. I don't buy those things. My favorite diet has been carnivore. Of all of them, it was simple. It actually was relatively cheap. I went to Sam's, bought $500 worth of meat, and it lasted 2 months.
Jesus.
2 months.
You got a deep freeze in the garage? Okay,
It
good.
lasted 2 months, like easy. And it turns out the more you do it, the less you eat.
the easier it becomes.
It became really easy.
The less you eat. Like I am cooking a ribeye steak, maybe a strip, but we're talking this much food for lunch instead of eating a value meal from like just stuffing my face with something. I'm full until 6 o'clock.
So that's what throws me off though,
good.
is when you really start looking at it, they say like your portion size for your protein for lunch should be like it's either 6 ounces or 8
Yeah,
ounces.
I'd say 6 ounces is about
Like
what I was
that. Yeah, I've never eaten 6 ounces of steak and stopped.
I don't think
That's all you cook.
So I think here's my experience with diets or whatever you want to call it is we are all snowflakes. What's
Okay.
good for you may not be good for me. What's
Yeah.
good for him may not be good for me.
Is that true though?
I
Blood type,
believe
right?
so. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different diet types out there, blood types, so on and so forth. So I get a blood test every year for work.
Okay.
And one year it came back with I have high cholesterol, so I changed how I ate rather than taking Lipitor because I don't want to give the
Yeah,
big pharma.
screw that. I'm not.
And so
not
I
doing
just
that.
changed how I ate and started watching it. So for 5 years in a row now, I have just focused on it. And before I do this blood test, because I hear all these things, eggs are bad for you, milk is bad for you, cheese is bad for you, eggs good for you, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So for 40 to 75 days before I go do my blood test, I pick a diet and I do it. And then when I did a vegan diet, my cholesterol dropped as to be expected. When I did a carnivore diet, my cholesterol dropped, and I was cooking in butter and fat,
Yep.
and I was eating
Yeah.
nothing
Yep.
but
But
ribeye.
other people with a different body, their
might
cholesterol
have
might go
a
up.
cholesterol
Yeah.
spike.
But all lions eat the same things. All koalas eat the same
I'll bet there's
things.
some lions running around with damn high cholesterol. They just don't know it.
Yeah, but our DNA is different than those.
Yeah.
Sure, but it seems like every other species on the planet eats the exact same thing, and that's the diet that they're made to exist off of.
I don't know that they've actually determined what humans are supposed to exist off because I've heard arguments for both.
Dude,
like,
the
we're supposed to
Mediterranean.
yeah, well, I've heard we're supposed to live off of just plant-based diet.
I don't think we know the answer
I don't think
because
it-
we have freedom of choice, and that's never going to
They
stop.
did a study that the people that live longest are the people that do the Mediterranean diet. It's fish and I can't even. I don't know what it all is. I know fish is a key component in it.
I also now have recently been hearing nut oils is the source of all of our problems.
I've heard that a lot recently.
That's a big thing in the carnivore
Well, and
world.
That's a screwy one because I cook with a cooking spray. When I cook eggs in a pan, I have it's a generic Costco cooking spray I get. But recently, I'd had a couple of people tell me that cook with real butter instead of that harmful cooking spray. But then I know someone who went to the doctor and their cholesterol spiked, and it turned out they were having eggs every morning, but it wasn't the eggs that spiked it, most likely. It was the butter that they put in the pan that was spiking it. And again, I think it's every body is different. But there becomes a point where it's like, what do I do? Like, the oils are bad, the butter is bad.
Dude, we're surrounded by so much shit. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard that cholesterol is not even a thing you need to worry about.
I heard that too recently. That cholesterol is a made up thing.
I've seen some
So
pretty
cholesterol is
compelling
a real
arguments.
thing, but it's cholesterol in the blood vessels is different than cholesterol in the something else.
I've heard
That's
some pretty
LDL,
compelling
HDL.
arguments, and I'm like, okay, I don't believe it. I'm not buying it, but at the same time, I don't know what's real or not. Everything says this is bad.
Yeah.
Go vegan. No, that's bad. Go herbivore. No, that's bad. Go pescatarian. No, that's bad. Okay, well, fucking everything's bad. So I'm just gonna eat things that are making me feel good, making me feel full, and
If you listen
It
to
tastes good.
Yeah, and if you listen to that point, if you listen to healthy people, people who are physically fit, they are not exercising overly too much 3-4 times a week, whatever it is, they all tell you eat a diet that makes you feel right.
Yep.
And if you feel good,
that's why I
it's
take a
probably the right
Viagra.
diet.
That's why I take a Viagra with every steak that I eat.
Yes.
It makes me feel
Excited.
erect for the day.
Yeah. No, that's
Just
right.
I get up so firmly and I rise up to the situation and I stick it to the man.
Just don't let
Literally.
it last longer than 4 hours.
Oh, it goes on longer than 4 hours. And then at bedtime, when it's time to lay down with my wife, just crash.
Just when you need it, it's not there.
Okay. Yeah.
No, and that's. I'll say this: diet wise,
we're
I learned just through January 1st when I started trying to lose weight. I cut out a lot of carbs, and all of a sudden I was running good. My body
it.
was a well-oiled machine. And then it was probably 2 months that I went hardcore, and then I had a day where I went heavy carb, and I felt terrible the next day. But I kind of was like, oh, this is how I used to feel every day. And it makes me wonder how many people, our dad's generation probably was full of it. Like how many people are running around every day feeling 50%, but don't know that they think that's how they should feel every day. And they'll never know what they could feel like if they started eating better.
well, one thing I'll say is I'm really big on cheat days.
Yeah.
And I don't have to schedule them.
Gotta
I don't
shock
have
the
to.
body.
It's not even shocking the body. I don't want to feel so conformed to what I have to do. If I feel like I have to do it, if I feel like I have to go to the gym that day, then it's going to start to feel like a chore.
Yeah.
But if I feel like I have to eat carnivore every day, every second, every moment, then it becomes a chore. However, if I'm like, man, it's Sunday, I'm 3 gluten-free beers in, I've watched a football game, man, I want a pizza. I just want a pizza. I'm going to eat a pizza.
Yeah.
And it's going to be okay. Now, I'm not allergic to gluten. That is a choice that I made because of my wife's dietary needs. So I can do that. But it's just like, I'm not going to feel bad about this. I'm not going to care. Tomorrow morning, I'm going straight back. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to throw my body into hell.
Self-control, though, is a big thing.
Willpower and self-control.
Because you don't
yeah.
go back the next day and like, I could do another pizza.
Yeah.
You know what? McDonald's is on the way home. I might as well smack that up, even though I do eat McDonald's at least once a week.
Yeah.
Don't eat the quarter pounder right now. Salmonella outbreak or E. coli.
Just burger. All I eat is the burger patties and cheese and onions.
Okay. Well, E. coli outbreak at McDonald's. Just beware.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill
You can
anybody.
get it for like $3 on the app, 4 burger patties and cheese and onions, and that's all. And it's like 60 grams of protein.
Nice.
Get it.
Just letting you know.
It's good to know.
I feel like Justin's winding down here. I've seen
well,
a
I'm trying-
noticeable energy drop in the last 5 minutes.
I've been
done.
trying to think about how to wrap this up. So yeah, just have that self-control to hit the like and subscribe button. Just kidding. Don't do that.
I hope you edit yourself saying that like you always do me.
I'm waiting for you to say it.
You're going to cut it, so what's the point?
It's the
Everybody, I'm going to
it's
say
the
this
bits.
slowly so when he cuts it, it's noticeable. But everybody like it really helps the algorithm, and we're trying to get paid for this shit.
Yes.
I just want to be heard. And I love you guys very much.
And you want to
ELE, everybody
And it
loves
matters.
everybody.
And I am glad that you all learned about measuring your penis with me tonight.
Can the Hulk talk about penis measuring in SPL?
I'm glad you said SPL because I kept wanting to say SLP and I knew it wasn't right, so I just kept saying
Stretch
kept
penis
stopping
length.
The Hulk is not. He's going to take a rest this week.
Okay.
Because I do feel like I don't want to overuse
That makes
the Hulk.
sense.
Actually, I want to introduce other wrestlers.
Okay.
However, there's only a handful that people would recognize.
I didn't get into wrestling at any point in my life, and so I know the Hulk and I know John Cena.
John Cena. How about
And
The
The
Rock,
Rock.
Stone Cold?
That's it. What? So I know
Savage?
Stone Cold is 316 or something like that. That's a thing with Stone
I'm
Cold.
surprised that you're not familiar. I figured you'd be of the right age.
No, that's so I grew up in Texas, so I'm all about the Von Erichs.
Yeah, but Stone Cold was like Texas. That he was Mr.
no.
Texas.
After the Von Erichs, I stopped paying attention.
And Undertaker, you got to know who the Undertaker.
Okay, the
is.
Undertaker, I'm familiar with.
I could do an Undertaker
Kane?
promo.
Kane.
I don't know who
like,
Kane is.
Yeah, that's not as well known. I mean, he's a
Triple H.
He's,
Which-
he's
all-
a governor now, but
Have you guys seen all these old wrestlers are getting involved in the politics now?
yeah,
We've got
Kane is a governor.
the Undertaker. I know is on Trump's side,
Yeah.
and the
So is Kane.
who's the other guy? Damn it, I should know wrestlers' names.
You should.
Something Foley. Who's Foley?
Mick Foley.
Who is he?
He's not Trump's side.
No, he's come on. So
Oh, I was supposed to
the
say
other
he
day,
is the most liberal
I
person.
say the other day, like the Undertaker did an interview with Trump, and like what is Foley's name?
Mick
Mick
Foley.
Foley.
But did he have a name in wrestling?
Mick
Mankind.
Foley. Mankind.
Mankind. Okay, and Mankind was on like a thing with Obama or something, and it was just the weirdest thing where I was like, I always have this thing where I'm like, why do we care what celebrities say? But then beyond that, why do we give a fuck what these wrestlers say?
Batista.
Okay, Batista is very liberal. He's talking all the
because
time.
he's
Hulk,
an actor now,
Hulk-
and he's big Kamala guy.
Dude, Hulk ripped his shirt off at the RNC. And if you guys have seen
Yeah.
Idiocracy, when that happened, I was like, oh, like President Macho Camacho's coming. Like we're so close.
This whole thing feels like it's the whole thing feels like it's a WWE production now.
Yes.
It's insane. But there will be other wrestler promos coming.
Okay, I'm
I
looking
just don't want
forward
to
to
wear
it.
out I just don't want to wear out the Hulk thing as a promo every week.
Got it.
So for those of you still here, thanks for staying to the end. That's the best thing you can do for the podcast because it helps watch time and algorithm stuff.
I love you guys very much, and I'm so happy that you're here measuring penises with me.
You guys say smash that like button.
Smash the like button.
I like
Thank you.
3 or 4 of you tops. I don't know the rest.
Smash the like button.
This is probably going to be a 2 podcast episode.
Get it. Split it. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.